Hello and welcome to our podcast, The Good with Dr. Joe. And it's about 12 noon Eastern, it's 9 a.m. Pacific, and I think it's about 5 p.m. London, England. So we're glad today we have a guest on our podcast. Please introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Tiana from Washington, D.C., and I'm honored to be here today with Dr. Joe. So we're going to have a beautiful podcast about relationships and love. So I'm going to turn it over to the boss.
Oh, man. Thank you so much. Thank you for coming today. Yes, we really have a lot to say. And I just want to say first thing to those who are probably joining us for the first time, you don't know what our podcast is about. The name of the podcast is The Good with Dr. Joe. What we try to do is to find the good in everything that happens to us. Whatever situation happens to us, there's some good in it somewhere. So we try to help you find it. For me personally, last week was a very, very tough week. First, you remember last week we had 9/11?
Oh, yes.
So we had the 9/11 memorial. And then I lost a couple of very, very close friends. Very, very close people. Close people, that a couple that we lost last week, very, very tough. And then there was this this CEO, pastor, prophet in Florida, that shot his wife, just shot his wife like that in front of the bank where she works. It was really, really horrific. It was really sad. So what we're going to be talking about today is marriages, relationships, and partnership. Because we know, as we exist in this planet, we cannot survive. No man is an island. We need one another to survive. The fish needs water. The bird needs the air. So we need somebody to exist. That's what I'm finding out. So
everybody needs everybody.
Yeah. So we're going to be looking at a few things today. I think today we're just going to outline in general terms what relationship is, what marriage is, what partnership is, and why it is necessary and how it works. Okay, so marriage, relationship, and partnership. So Tiana, what do you think? What do you think about these three things?
Marriage, relationships, and partnerships.
Yeah.
I think that me personally, they separate different relationships like marriages, business, siblings, but in all together, they're all as one because they all need to be respected as the same thing.
So it means that like they depend on each other,
Yeah.
So relationship works in the sense that you have to depend on each other. Now let's look at some of the relationship that we're going to be talking about. The first one that I put here on our subject line is marriage. Did you know what I found out that even in marriage, right? Part of the key ingredient of the marriage is that there's supposed to be relationship and partnership. Isn't that interesting? In the marriage, in order for a marriage to succeed, you have to have relationship within the marriage and also have partnership in the marriage. Now we're going to break that down.
Oh, yeah, because I was going to say, what's the difference?
Yes. We're going to break that down as we go on. Now, the other type of relationship I want to talk about is the relationship between a business and the client. In order for a business to exist, there has to be some kind of relationship between the business and the client, the people who come there to patronize the business. Otherwise, something's going to be missing.
Yeah.
Maybe the business is going to die off. All right. Another kind of relationship is that between the business owner and the employees or the staff.
Yes.
The employees, without the employees, hey, I know that. Without the employees, you can't run a business. And in order for a business to run, there has to be some kind of, of course, got to be a good relationship between the employees and the ownership of the business. And then we also look at the relationship between parents and children.
Yes.
Right now we're talking about COVID-19 and people learning from home. In fact, I found myself running back and forth trying to make sure, oh, my kids are straight. Are they on the class that way they're supposed to be? Are they signing on? Are they learning? Are they playing on cartoons instead of listening to what the teacher is saying on Zoom? Where Zoom, we're going to have a conversation on Zoom. That's going to be for another day. It's very interesting, you know. So the relationship, that's part of the relationship between parents and children.
Yeah.
About partnership. You know, when you talk about partnership, now you go into business now. You have business partnership. You have partnership between one business and the other. I know there's one particular partnership that our president is not happy with. There's a partnership between Amazon and United States Postal Service. And the president is not happy about that at all.
Why?
Well, okay. Well, we're going
It's like a partnership with, well, Xbox and PlayStation.
Yes.
They could have a partnership
Yes.
if they wanted to.
Yes.
And it makes it better because this partnership knows more. I guess the Postal Service knows more, so Amazon probably like, let me get some more information because you've been in this business
Yes.
longer, so it's really
Makes perfect
a
sense.
student
Makes perfect
teacher
sense.
thing relationship.
And then UPS, I say UPS, United States Post Office knows every nook and corner of the US. Now, Amazon being a new man in the game, how do you call it now? A new kid in the game? Yeah, we can still look at that. A new kid in the game in the area of delivery. So they needed some help. I thought it was a smart partnership on the side of Amazon. Now, the terms of the partnership may not have favored the United States Post Office or may not be favoring the United States Post Office. That's one other thing that we're going to be talking about. Writing down the understanding. At this time, they call it Memorandum of Understanding, MOU, you know. So that does help in a lot of relationship. Okay, so what other partnership do we know? What do we know that other businesses that are in partnership? I know that even UPS actually even partner with United States Post Office at some point, you know. So they because there are sometimes that the United States Post Office will bring mails over here or packages over here that was actually sent through UPS. And I said, hey, what's going on here? So that is business. But anyway, yeah, those are some of the partnership relationships that we're going to be talking about today. Now, in real estate, you have a lot of partnership in real estate also. You have the bank partnering with the mortgage company, partnering with the real estate agent, and so on and so forth. A lot of partnership. So the summary of our conversation here today is that we have to just understand that in order for life to exist, there's got to be some kind of relationship or partnership. Even for a human being, you know, look at all the systems in the body that have to work in cooperation. You know, the digestive system, the circulatory system, and all those systems, you know, they have to work together in order to get the body as one being to function. And okay, let's go ahead and look at a couple of things that makes a relationship work.
Friendships.
Friendship, okay, friendship is good.
Friendship is the key to everything.
Well, you say friendship, okay. So where does trust rate?
So
Trust versus friendship.
it starts from the beginning of friendship.
Okay.
Before friendship, because when you walk up on somebody,
Yeah.
When you first talk to them, you trust them.
Yeah.
Until they kind of
How can you trust somebody you don't know? Okay, let's say I walk into Austin right now, right? He looks friendly. He looks inviting. Okay, I can't just trust him because I don't know him.
But it's if you trust yourself and know yourself, you know him, because everyone is just a reflection of you. So you'll know who to trust if you know yourself. And you got to understand that relationship with yourself, too.
Okay.
I know I went kind of deep, but sorry.
All right. Well, that to me is far-fetched because of the fact that if I don't know somebody, even sometimes you even go into married relationship be there for a very long time, and they don't even know each other that well. Like this tragic case that happened in Florida right now. In Florida, they are both from Ghana.
Okay.
Okay, so they're both supposed to understand their culture a little bit, supposed to understand, and they're in the same religion. Okay, same religion. So they have two strong foundation that one would have thought would maybe unite them. They have country, they have religion, that would unite them. But guess what? The woman did not see that incident that happened last week. She never would have thought that would happen, that the man will come with a gun to her job to shoot her.
Because it might be having the same religion in the same country, but you got to remember these two people was not raised in the same household, and that's where it starts off. And people don't get to know each other a little bit longer. They jump into stuff before they learn about the family and everything that comes with that person, because that's what that person is. Everything that was put into that person before y'all even met.
We're getting calls. I think we're going to take calls. We're going to take calls right now. We have about wow, it's already 12. Wow, time's gone. Okay, so we're going to start. Please just hold on for a second. We're going to start taking calls in a moment. I think today let's just talk about trust. I have done a little bit of research, and I can categorically say that trust is one of the principal foundation of marriage, relationships, and partnership. Because without trust, you can't really do much. And I got a few quote here, to show how critical it is for trust to exist in relationships. It said, whether it is friendship or relationship, all bonds are built on trust. So, and if you look, let's look at the definition. What's the definition of trust? I put that a minute ago. Okay, so according to the dictionary, it said trust is the firm belief in the reliability, truth, ability, or strength of someone or something else. Trust is the firm belief that I have in you. Like if you say you're going to come today. All right. So how do I know that you're going to come today? So because we have developed a level of conversation, and I have tested you before. Like you say you're going to do some things.
Yeah.
And you actually came true and you did it. So because you have done something, you have said some things before you're going to do, and you actually did it, guess what? We start creating a little bit of trust. Now, let me also tell you one of the things that's going to help you to build trust is writing things down.
Yeah.
Because people can remember differently.
Oh, yeah. Different people, yeah.
I may say, hey, I'm coming to your house at 2. So you had 2. So maybe I said 1. No, you had 2. Now you remember 3.
Okay.
So look at now, we're going from 1 to 3. Now we're having a disagreement or an argument about what time it is. But guess what's going to solve that? If you write it down. You say 2 p.m. I'll be there. Especially in this age of cell phone. You can text it and so on and so forth. So my recommendation on starting relationship built on trust is to begin to write things down. Have a memorandum.
I had this one, actually it was like a week ago. I had a doctor's appointment and the lady said I think it was like 2 weeks ago, on the 3rd at 3:30. I wrote it down in front of her. I said on the 3rd, and I looked at it and I said, oh, that might be a special day because it's 3:33. I wrote it down, but I went there on that day, and she was like, oh no, you're late, you have to reschedule. And I'm like, I'm 4 minutes early. She said, oh no, your appointment is at 3:15. And I'm like, I know for a fact, because I sat there and told you it's going to be a good day because of 3:33. But so it could still get mixed up. But God will play some little things if He wants something. You see
the difference, right? You said it. So if you you said it to her, right? If you have written it to her, let's say by email, you copy her by email and say, hey, thank you for the appointment at 3:30. This is to confirm.
Oh, no, I was in front of her. I asked her for a pen so I could write it down.
I understand that. That was the particular time that the appointment was made. Okay? So one of the things that's going to help, and that is what the memorandum of understanding does. once you already had your conversation, you put in writing and then send it to the other person. You see, when I was getting ready to get married, I don't know if you remember, I did that show about average. What was that show again?
Me and my daddy.
Me and my daddy. No, not me and my daddy. The other show, Marry an Average Joe. I'm going to give you a clip. You got to play a clip of it during this project. Marry an Average Joe was the show that I put together when I was looking for a wife. And guess what? When I was looking for a wife, I had 40 questions. 40 questions written out. How many of us have done that? Do you have 40 questions? Do you have any questions to ask your man? You see, do you have any questions to ask the wife that you're going to marry?
Maybe a couple.
A couple. 40 questions are listed out. So whenever I met somebody, I said, okay, I'll go over some of them couldn't even survive the first 10. After the first 10, they said, no, I don't want any more. You understand what I'm saying? So what are you trying to say? You have exactly what you're looking for. So you are creating an opportunity for trust to be developed.
But somebody could lie to you about them questions.
Yeah, they can of course.
Yeah, I like that.
Of course.
But they be like,
Time will eventually prove whether that person was trustworthy or not. Because what that is doing that we are still building or creating a foundation where trust can be built. So if the person lied to you at that very first meeting, then guess what? You're creating a situation where trust could not find a place.
what if it's like 3 years down the road and 2 babies later?
It doesn't matter.
I mean,
It doesn't matter whether it's 5 years down the road, whether it's after 20 years later. The truth is always going to be the truth. And that is why when you write it down, it's a lot different. So when you're going into a relationship, it doesn't matter whether it's a marriage relationship. Why do you take vows when you go to the church? You say, okay, what are some of the vows? Okay.
For richer or poorer.
From richer to poorer,
Better or worse.
you leave all others. That's very critical. You leave all other men and women for just this one lady or one man.
Yeah, and then I don't understand with that when they say for better or worse how how people get divorces. How do you get divorces when you said for better or worse, and you gotta understand that person is still growing, even though they're not gonna know. Even a person that's 67 still don't fully understand their soul. So that's the person is still growing. So if they do have mishaps or whatever, and we getting divorced because it ain't working out, but you made a commitment to work with that person. They might be doing this, but you need to help them get over that and understand that this is not right. Instead of just, I'm not dealing with this, bye, and leaving. Because then you're going against God. So they should make, I think they should make divorces illegal. Like, once you win, you win. You can get locked in, and they should make, that way people would think more before they get into it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They won't just hop, I'm in love, and just jump into it.
Yeah.
They'll give it more time, like,
absolutely.
I'm not getting out of this.
You see?
Or I'm going to jail.
That is the key. That's a key point. Now, I don't know whether they can make it a law or not.
They
anyway, by the way, we can start taking calls right now. We're people trying to call in. So the number to call is 678 708 4567. So again, call 678 708 4567. So give us a call, and then we'll try to accommodate your questions. You have questions, you have comment, you disagree, whatever it is you want to say. Hey, it's a free word, it's a free time, a free podcast. You can say whatever you want. Just be respectful of listeners. Okay.
We've got a couple questions for you.
Okay, go ahead.
What is the key to building trust?
The first key is writing down everything you agree on. It's not every conversation, but the key things that you agree on. Because like me, when I was conversing with my wife when we were getting ready, so I told her, I said, look, I think I want to have 2 kids. She didn't quite agree at that time. I said, okay, write the number of kids you want down, and I'm going to write the number of kids I want, and then we're going to think about it.
What did she say?
She did. She wrote that down. She wrote 3.
Oh, she wrote 3.
She wrote 3, and I wrote 2. So now we have a memorandum of understanding. So the understanding that she wants 3 and I want 2, this is something we have to think about, talk about, and see how to resolve it. So one key foundation for building trust is your key agreement or key understanding. Understand what is understanding. Your key understandings you want to memorize by writing them down.
All right, can I say something?
Yeah, go ahead.
So I think trust is already there. It's just up to the people to start knocking it down, and that's what gets, because when a person talks to you, when they talk to you, they want to trust you, so they already trust you. It's up to the other person to start throwing the trust, and they start sensing stuff.
Okay,
So it's just
I see what you
keeping
mean.
it there
So
is the thing.
that makes sense. That makes
Don't
sense.
start lying, because after that, it's out the window.
That makes sense. What she's saying is that there's some level of trust in every relationship, even just walking at a stranger,
be in it.
you know. So there's that. If you don't call it trust, you call it the benefit of doubt. So it's now up to that person to keep it or
Yeah.
to knock it down, just like you said.
Yeah.
You know, I agree with that. I agree with that. What was the other question?
We have a comment about divorce.
Yes.
It says divorce becomes necessary when one's life and health is in danger. And we have to be careful about generalizing concerns dealing with divorce.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So
It's-
yeah,
okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was
Respond
gonna say,
first.
well, you should, as much as you took initiative to have that, you should have taken them thoughts. You should take more that initiative before you even get married. You need to have that before you get married, and so that shouldn't even be coming in the marriage. So that should be before marriage, I think, and think you wouldn't even have to worry about divorce.
Okay. All right. Well, that's Tiana's opinion. That's not my opinion.
Yeah,
That's not the opinion of the
sorry.
podcast.
It's
Okay.
different. It's
That's
just
our personal
me.
opinion. Okay. So for me, I think that divorce is a major situation. It's a major situation, and of course, I cannot sit here and tell you, oh, you can't divorce or you can't do whatever you want to do, because every situation is going to be different. You know. So, but the thing is that you have to look in your heart and ask yourself the question: have you done all that you can do? Have you? Because divorce is not divorce. Here, listen to me very carefully. Divorce is never the answer. Divorce can never be the answer. I remember George Judy. You know, George Judy has been married 3 times. He married one man twice. He divorced the man and then came back and married the man again. So what happened? And then who was there was another person? Is it Betty Wright? Of this one lady, Hollywood lady, that married 9 different times. 9 men.
Halle Berry.
Because she jumped up.
Is that no, not Halle Berry.
I was like, no, she
It's
didn't.
it's another lady, the older lady. Older lady. She was a movie star or something. I'll get the name.
Streisand or something.
So my thing is that I'm not going to tell you go divorce or don't divorce. I'm not going to tell you that. The only thing I'm going to tell you is that do everything you can, because divorce is never the answer. Is never the answer. So you find there are so many things. Okay, here's the thing. Before it gets that bad, you know, if I use the situation of the prophet in California, in Florida, the guy they were having issues before it got there. Nobody wakes up one day and just shoot. Nobody wakes up
Yes,
one day
exactly.
and just divorce. Something happened. It started little by little by little. I'm writing a book. It's called 8 Simple Steps to Resolving Disputes. You want to resolve the dispute. You don't want it to get to a conflict. No, you want to resolve the dispute before it gets to a conflict. There's a very big difference between disputes and conflicts. So what you want to do, you want to deal with it when it's still a dispute. When you guys are talking, still arguing, not when you guys are throwing bones or throwing guns and arrows. Then there's a conflict. When you still
You can't talk. You can't talk when you're arguing because
No.
you can't think. Your
No.
mind is not clear. If y'all both mad, y'all need to part and think, because you're not gonna be able to argue. When
No.
you're mad at the situation, you're not gonna be able to think. I don't care how hard you try. Everything negative gonna come out.
And I believe there's an answer. There's a solution for everything if you want to find the solution. All right. So I think our time is far gone. We're going to. I think we have a call coming through. So we're going to take maybe just take 1 or 2 calls and then we'll hang it up. So back to what I was saying, trust is the key. And one of the principal things that you have to have a memorandum of understanding. Before I went into my marriage, we went over everything. How about children? How about your in-laws? How about this? How about that? The same thing if you're going to partnership, the same thing. Talked about the bank account, and all of that. Okay, well, we'll take this call. Thank you for calling the show, the podcast, The Good with Dr. Joe. Yeah, go ahead. You're on air. Tell us. You have a comment or a question?
How important is relationships in a business situation in terms of being married with your partner who you're also doing business with? How would you separate those two?
Oh, wonderful. Oh, wonderful. Okay, the question is this. Can you maintain or can you have a relationship when you are married to somebody and you have business together?
Yes, I think so.
Yes. You remember when we started, I mentioned the fact that in marriage, you can have, thank you so much for calling. You can have, in marriage, you can have relationship and partnership. What does that mean to have a relationship and partnership in a marriage? You're married to this person. Okay, you want to say something?
What I was going to say is basically, it's like you're in business with your best friend. So the only thing difference between a marriage and a friendship is just the sexual part.
Okay.
And see, sexual stuff is supposed to be behind closed doors. So that even if y'all had y'all separate business, y'all shouldn't even be talking about sexual stuff. So I think that's like the best thing, because y'all are best friends. Y'all know what pulls what the other person have. Y'all sleep together. Y'all talk more about y'all businesses, but you just keep it, and you have trust because the guy is gonna have to talk to females, and the females gonna have to talk to the males. But you have the trust to understand. I know this is my wife, so and she doing her thing. She hope this is for our business. It's nothing sexual. So anything.
You see, it still comes back. It's come back to trust. Okay.
Yeah, trust.
And the trust comes from having a memorandum of understanding that covers everything. Okay. So if a couple, married couple, are in business together, the thing is that in the business there's your operational guidelines. Okay. You have your job descriptions. Okay? You have what you can do in the office and what you can do in the office. So this is why I cannot stress the MOU. I cannot stress that enough. Because before you even go to before you actually start a business, there's what you call business plan. Yeah. For you guys who have not been following Dr. Mike is taking a great series about starting business, developing business plan, strategy, and all that. He does his thing every other Saturdays. He does it at 11 a.m. Eastern time. So I want you to check him out. Dr. Mike, check him out. He's taking a lot of courses on businesses, how to get business, I have to get it properly registered, properly strategy, and so on. So before you start the business, the role of the man and the role of the woman is put in the memorandum of understanding. There are various roles so that nobody is crossing each other and doing the other thing. Is there? Of course, you know that if you are married, you keep your marriage thing at home. When you're at work, is business. So everything's got to be business. As long as you can keep your mind like that 9 to 5 is all about business. What is my job? What am I supposed to be doing here? That's where a lot of people miss it. Rather than do your job, you're looking at what he's doing and what he's not doing. Or you're looking at what she's doing or what she's not doing.
Yeah, you stay into your own, what you got going on.
You focus on what you're supposed to do.
Because if you're in a good marriage and you trust your other half, then you wouldn't even be worried about what's going on, because they handle their business just as well. They know you handle your business.
Absolutely.
So there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
So today we have been able to cover a little bit of trust, which I believe is the most important key in every type of relationship, whether it's marriage, whether it's business, whether it's partnership, is trust. And how do you build trust? Whatever understanding, whatever you guys have discussed and come to some form of understanding. It may not be an agreement. I use the example of me and my wife. She said, hey, she wanted 3 kids, and I said I wanted 2. So okay, write it down. So we understood each other. This is what I'm looking for. So at the end of the day, it's going to be between 2 and 3. It said that we're going to have 2 kids and we're going to have 3 kids.
Well, yeah, go ahead there.
You see, and it's very, very close. It's very, very close. That's discussion for another day. So when we talk about disagreements, then we can talk about that, and then look at that. So yes, everything you do, list out what you're understanding. List out what your impression of the conversation is. What you understand by the conversation. Then send that copy. Can you imagine me when I was looking for a wife? I had 40 questions to ask, and I was asking every of these questions. So what does that tell you? It just tells you that, okay,
you know what you want.
I know what I want. Okay, you understand?
That's good.
So do you know what you want? So any lady that is coming, want to hang with me, must also know what she wants, or at least knows that I know what I want. So it's very, very critical. Building trust, you have to know what exactly you want, what you're looking for. I think we should end it here. We'll continue next week. I want to say that, oh my God, 30 minutes. I want to say that Miss No is not here today. She had a minor urgent, what do you call it, an emergency. She had an emergency, so she couldn't make it. She'll be here next week as we continue to discuss marriage, relationship, and partnership. And please don't forget, the first word is trust. And how to build trust, write down your MOU. See you next week on The Good with Dr. Joe. Our broadcast today, copy is going to be on our YouTube page. So go ahead and check out our YouTube. You have any last words?
No, just yes. Thank you for having me today. It was nice meeting you.
Thank you so much. That is Tiana all the way from DC. We'll try to get that back here next week. I really enjoyed chatting with her today. Thank you so much. See you. Love you guys.